that's the question. Is it too large? And is the audience on that platform too large? So therefore, utilizing some ads could benefit you. There are some platforms like Facebook that are just, it's a billion some odd people on Facebook, and if you're, having something like beauty or cars or, something that is super broad, that it would take you forever to possibly reach every person, with what your niche is, you would, definitely want to think about using Facebook ads, and then, is your niche mainly accessible, via a paywall? Meaning, is it like so competitive that there really is no free area? So, I mean, you could think of something like right now, like cryptocurrency. You could be on someplace and every single, area is just infested with ads because there's a money incentive to it. So reaching out to people about your blog, about your perspective on cryptocurrency or however, would just get lost in a total shuffle because there's so many people who are willing to pay for that concept. So, you might want to then advertise because otherwise you just would be drowned out. You would never even be seen. And then, a place like YouTube that is hard to build up at first could be worth the effort of advertising and money. And, and same thought here is that if you were building up something difficult like YouTube, you could use advertising on these other areas to draw people to your YouTube, as well as advertising with YouTube. So there are some platforms that are a little more difficult to get traction on, to get going. So, if you're really like, I'm doing great on TikTok, and then I move on to YouTube and it's like nothing. It's like I'm not even there. Obviously, TikTok has a different vibe than YouTube. But if you're finding that issue, it might be something where you need to grease the wheels a bit with some paid marketing. And then not everyone can be reached organically, and the same for paid. So you can't reach everyone. Even if you just did an entire paid campaign, you wouldn't reach those people who were, organic. And if you did all organic, you might not reach all the people who respond to paid marketing. So, that leaves an opportunity for you. Like, no matter which direction you're going, there's places that will only be reached by someone who's willing to open up their pocketbook and give, money to some of these social channels. And they obviously have areas that are exclusive. There are things like paid promotions, paid tags, paid all sorts of stuff that brands get that, because they're willing to open their pocketbook up, that you can't get normally, or you won't get organically. So that's something to consider. And then obviously make sure to read the ad guidelines carefully. As an OnlyFans creator, you know this all too well. You want to make sure to read guidelines, make sure that your ad meets their standards. I obviously, in 99% of the cases, would not try to directly market your OnlyFans page, through paid advertising. In some cases, what you're advertising, if it's not 18 plus, if it's fine, then you might be okay. But in most cases, you would want to read the guidelines, and you would want to send people somewhere else again, advertising your brand more than your OnlyFans. And then, paid marketing is great for testing ad copy to get feedback. That's one of the great things about paid advertising. They take your money and they throw your ad right out in front of people. You don't have to sit and worry and say, okay, I got 5 impressions today. What does that mean? I get no clicks. What does that mean? Because your sample size is so small. You can't really get a good idea of the effectiveness of an ad. But if you were to, utilize any of these paid services on these social channels, they'll put that ad to 1,000 people. they'll put that out to 10,000, 100,000 people. And then you can say, okay, this worked or it didn't work. And you can do test marketing and you can do A/B testing on your ad. And you know the numbers. You know exactly what the numbers are going to be. Like I'm going to get in front of 5,000 people today. And you can't necessarily always say that with your organic. I mean, most people can't. In order to do that, you'd have to have thousands and thousands of followers, tens of thousands on a social channel just to get, 1,000 or 10,000 impressions. But you can immediately go out, to one of these places and it looks like Facebook is saying, $1 for impressions. You can get 10,000 impressions for $10, like that's going to tell you a lot right there. And that could take you forever to build up on your own. And then last point is don't just jump right into paid marketing. If you're brand new to OnlyFans or you're brand new to online, it's not the best idea to jump right in to paid with your social channels because there's a lot you need to learn along the way. And I think that it's best for people who are, it's fine if you're a beginner, but I would say that you should be on OnlyFans for, say, a month before you would think about doing paid advertising, unless you already have a brand image and you're trying to build that brand image up a bit more now that you have the possibility of making money through your OnlyFans. Like if you have a brand image, you never had any opportunity to make money before because you played guitar for free online for the last 5 years. And now you have the opportunity to do that on your OnlyFans. So you think it might be good to, push your old videos of playing guitar, etc. That's fine. As long as you know what you're doing, and again, read the guidelines. But for anyone new, I wouldn't just jump right into online advertising. It can be a real snake pit. It can be a money hole if you don't know what you're doing. I will say this one more time. It can be an absolute money hole if you do not know what you're doing. Because most of the social channels, as you can imagine, their goal is to make money. They do not care if you make money. Their goal is to put you out. If they are going to sell you impressions and you don't know what you're doing, they're going to sell you the worst impressions they can because those are the ones left over and they're just going to shove them your way, if that makes any sense. They're not looking out for you. You have to look out for you when doing any paid marketing. Certainly, because as I just said, they're looking to make their money, not from you. They're looking to make the money from you, and it's your job then to figure out how to make money from what they're selling you. So I definitely wouldn't jump right in to paid marketing unless you really educate yourself about it. Okay, great. Well, that was how much does it cost for OnlyFans advertising on social media. Again, my name is Richard Lewis. I am the founder of OnlyFans Hero and a new course on Udemy called Learning OnlyFans Marketing 101. This podcast can be found on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast. So please follow us on there. You can also find us on Reddit at r/OnlyFans Secrets, which is a marketing community on Reddit, as well as OnlyFans itself. OnlyFans.com/OnlyFans Hero. Please follow and subscribe on there for free for the latest updates on this podcast. We also have a TikTok at OF Secrets Podcast. And as always, you can find us on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, where we run hourly promotions for OnlyFans. They are free, so please, for all creators, jump on there, take advantage of that. And you can always reach out to me personally at OnlyFans Hero with any questions you have about the podcast, any questions about OnlyFans. If you have any questions you want included in our Sunday Secrets episode, love to hear from you on Twitter or OnlyFans for that. And as always, if you have any opportunity to leave a review for this podcast, please do so. I really appreciate you guys listening. Please continue to do so. Please continue to follow and subscribe. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.